Hello friends and welcome back to our channel, and today's video is, let's say, a kind of chatting video. Chatting video is answering some questions I got from friends through WhatsApp, Facebook, some of the comments in my YouTube channels, and I will answer these questions briefly so that people do not ask them again, because most of these questions are repetitive. I get them almost 3 times, 4 times a week on my WhatsApp every week. So they ask different questions that we need to clarify. Question number one is, teacher, how you got your accent? Again and again, I mentioned in one or two of my videos that accent isn't important as much as learning language. Now, the main purpose of English is to learn the language. Now, you will be maybe shocked if I tell you that many different professors in many different universities, on Oxford, on Cambridge, in Harvard, these are Indians, and everybody knows what the Indian accent or the pronunciation is. It's very difficult to understand it sometimes, especially if the student talking fast. So again, accent isn't important very much. Yeah, it is good for beauty of language, but we don't have to spend 3 or 4 hours just to learn how that person talks or how this person does. Oh man, how are you? Guy, do not focus on this a lot because it will not benefit you. Instead, try to focus on something that will benefit you. Memorize, as I said before, sentences. That is number one. Number two, how do you get to Turkey? Now, I got to Turkey through a scholarship. Then the second question is, how did you get a scholarship? Now, you have to ask yourself the same question. How can I get a scholarship? Now, before we get a scholarship, we have two things we need to know. You need to join some of the groups that tell you when these scholarships happen. And I need to clarify the second thing, which is very important. Before you apply for a scholarship in any country, you need to make sure that, is this the major that you want or not? Is this the specialization that you have passion about it or not? The second thing, which is, make sure about the language that you're gonna study. Because in Turkey, the main language is Turkish, it's not English. And in order to get an English major, you have to focus on how to pass the proficiency exams first. Now, for example, my university proficiency exam is one of the most difficult ones in Turkey. And you barely pass it because it's not easy. It's a IELTS-like, it's a TOEFL-like. Actually, it's a mix of IELTS and TOEFL at the same time. These are the main points. Do you have the passion? Is this your major? And be careful about language. That's what I'm talking. Be careful about the language and just ignore the accent. Three, if I want to study on my own, funding. Is it expensive? Now, for the Yemenis, I think it's a bit expensive because there is a massive difference between our currency and the currency here. Now, for example, one Turkish lira is 100 riyal in our country. So people who are asking, just try to focus on this one. Not less than $300 or $400 every month. That includes your accommodation, your food, your transportation, and the basic things. Actually, if you want to live like a middle class life, that's number one. Not less than 300, because which is better for you? I don't know. Like if you wanna be in a flat or in a dorm. In a dorm, it might be much cheaper for you, and if you want to be in a flat, it depends on you. Yeah, like 400, 500 dollars, that is enough for the student to study. But be careful about the tuition fees, about the health insurance, about different things, expenses, how much you need. It depends on the person himself. But what I say, that $500 or $400 for those who are interested to study on their own funding. That's it. That's number three. Number four is, let me check that. Is it easy to get a job in Turkey? No, it is not. It's not easy. As I said in one of the videos, before you come to Turkey, try to understand a little bit Turkish in order to contact with people. But in order to get a job, it's not easy actually. People sometimes ask if they can learn Turkish. Yeah, it is actually, but it's a bit difficult. It needs time to practice, and in order to get a job easily, you need to practice Turkish first. For example, for me, as an English teacher, I got a job for 1 or 2 months because my Turkish is not that perfect, so that people do not hire you because your English is perfect. No, they will ask you because your Turkish is not that perfect, and that is why it is hard to get a job here. Now, one of the other questions is uh, which is better, English or Turkish? Now, for anybody who wants to come to Turkey, if you are not good in English, try to find another place to study English first before coming. Before English in Turkey, and teaching English in Turkey, as Turkey is not an English speaking country, I taught here. I have some experience. Teaching English is not as strong as other places. For me, I prefer a student to study English in Yemen and come back after that. For example, in some of the well-known institutes. But of course, English is more better than Turkish. The academic Turkish is more difficult. It's not as expected. So if you are interested in English, then go and prepare yourself before coming. If you are interested in Turkish, then come to this country and start studying Turkish. These are some of the questions that I got, and I hope that you are satisfied with these answers. If you have any other questions, just try to write that in comments, and I will answer them in another videos. Thank you a lot. Try to share this video because I think it's important for anybody who wants to come to Turkey for studying, for working, for having fun. That is something different. Yeah, you may have translators here that will help you whenever you go, or wherever you go actually. See you in another video. Bye.